that lead to riders, but not necessarily a decline. Examples would be an attempted suicide, HIV or AIDS, a serious medical condition that manifested in the last year, or too much unearned income or a high net worth. Just so you know, there are some medical conditions that, like we talked about, that manifested in the last year that don't necessarily become a decline. Examples would be diabetes, or certain forms of cancers may be insurable and not necessarily an automatic decline. With regard to the too much unearned income, this is really important to make sure that we find out if your clients have a source of unearned income. Examples are investment income or family trust income, income that's derived from rental properties, alimony, royalties, anything that would be considered an income that would be coming in regardless if the person was disabled or not. We call it self-insurance. In addition, if a client's net worth exceeds $6 million, I can pretty much tell you they're not going to be eligible for insurance. Now, one of the things is, like Judith mentioned, is we pride ourselves here at LLIS on the pre-underwriting that we provide. It is especially important in the area of disability because of us finding out in advance if a client has not only the potential to be declined, but possibly have exclusions placed on their policy. As Judith mentioned, we do this by contacting underwriters and getting a tentative opinion to find out what exactly the offer could possibly be. Now, like Judith mentioned also, remember that during the underwriting process, medical records are requested, and if something appears in those records that was not disclosed to us, we will go back to the client, we'll try to get an explanation from their side of it, and if there needs to be some clarification, we're going to go ahead and do that. For example, Janie had a case last week where the underwriter didn't complete the entire underwriting process, came across some information, and decided to stop the underwriting process and decline the client. When we went back to the client and discussed with them the information that was garnered in the medical records, we came to find out that she flies, and when she flies, she needs to take a specific anxiety medication. But because the time frame between her flights was 1 year, 2 years, maybe 3 years, and the prescription was expiring, she kept having to get it filled. So it looked like she was taking an antidepressant or an anti-anxiety medication more often than what was really the realistic situation. So he agreed to open the case back up, and she is continuing the underwriting process. So don't make an assumption. The point here is give me a call. Let me find out from an underwriting opinion whether that client would be declined or not. So that opens up our next question. Is a client truly insurable or not? The next question I usually get is, my client got an exclusion. What does that mean, and will it ever go away? First of all, the purpose of an exclusion is to be able to offer coverage to many clients who in the past would not be able to have coverage, because in the past they would have been declined. Insurance companies came up with a method whereby they can now provide coverage to those people, and they do it by putting exclusions on the policies. An exclusion usually is a part of the body, such as a back ailment, pregnancy, depression, or it can be a medical condition, such as GERD, GERD, depression, rapid heart rate, things like that. Now, can an